Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to Grand Tactician, the Civil War, a new strategy and tactical Civil War game available on Steam. This is episode number 26 of our Let's Play series, playing as the Confederacy, so we really don't need to go into a ton of detail, I don't think. We'll keep this intro short. This gameplay was taken from a live stream on my Twitch channel. If you're interested in following, though, there's a link in the description. This is our Confederate Let's Play series, so we are fighting the war on the side of the South. We've taken Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. Washington is besieged by a Union counterattack right now, and we have fought a battle in Kentucky last turn with one half the Army of the Tennessee, which was defeated. We're about to fight another battle today, hopefully with the other half of the Army of Tennessee, as well as a corps from the Army of the West operating out of Missouri. But we'll see if that comes to fruition or not. With that being said, this was taken from a live stream, as I already said. So let's jump back into the live stream and pick things up where we left off. All right, boys, let's see if we can get Johnson to advance south. And then we can fight this battle here with the left wing of the Army of Tennessee. The Battle of Columbia, which right now the Federals have about 15,000 more men than us, similar to what we just fought over here in Kentucky. Okay. Meanwhile, also we should, seeing as we just lost this battle in Kentucky, we should also, well, I can't adjust it yet, but I want to adjust my commanders in those units to get the wounded guys out of there. Slow winter movement, 30% penalty. God, Johnson's moving so fucking slow. Army of Mississippi is also coming up. That would be 14,000 men, which would largely negate getting Johnson into position. We are taking St. Louis, though, right now with Porterfield's corps. All right, so Johnson is moving down toward the left wing. The right wing is retreating, maybe not in the direction I want them to. I can't tell them where to retreat, though, can I? Or can I? I might be able to. Okay. Can we, is this close enough now for Johnson to come to their aid? Doesn't look like it. I'm not sure. We'll give it a few more days. Meanwhile, the right wing needs new commanders. So let's manage the army here. Yeah, JD. I have a video up on YouTube about it. About War in the Pacific. And what happened? Okay, so let's do this. What? Albert Sidney Johnson, Walker, Chase. Confused. The right wing is now commanded by Walker. Did it automatically replace my losses? Because that's new. I haven't seen that happen before. Walker probably was the most senior of the division commanders. He's got decent traits, but that, I wonder if that's new with a new patch. Maybe. Bloodheader. Maxey. It looks like everybody's been replaced. All the wounded officers are gone. Okay. I guess that's a quality of life thing. Doesn't always let me put the commander I want into position. Kershaw is promoted to command of the division while Imboden is out. Pemberton, like, you're such a shit. You're so bad. We're replacing you. I don't know with who. No colonels or brigadier generals are available. Stonewall! Poor Stonewall, he died. He died. We've lost Ewell and Stonewall. Preston Smith also. The Green Bay Packers outside linebacker. Let's see here. Who do I put in command? I am playing as a Confederates, Toa. Nathan Bedford Forrest, I guess. He's there. Colonel Chatham Wheat. Who the fuck's that guy? His administration is non-existent. Incapable administrator. He does not understand the basics of military life or logistics. That's a problem. So let's replace him with someone who's not that. Pemberton, no, I just fired him. I don't want Pemberton doing anything. Fitzhugh Lee. Yeah. You were a cavalry guy. Okay. Friend of yours who loves what? Oh, Barry Crockett Middleton? Is that a liquor? Anyway, let's see what happened to our artillery here. 11 guns, 8 guns, 9 guns. 8 and 11 are both 24 pounders, I believe. No gun. Oh wait, that's cavalry. 12. So those are 24s. I don't think I can merge those. We might need to merge some of these infantry units. The Tennessee State Militia, they are 700 men. They also reworked, I think, the way that weapons work, where now if you have excess weapons, they go into the stockpile after you merge units. But I think you can only merge within like the same type unless your stockpile has sufficient weapons to replace the lost weapons. Doesn't look like I can merge any of these guys. Well, Ford could merge with Field, it looks like. Interesting that you can merge across states in terms of manpower. We're going to move forward to lead header, or however you pronounce that. Ford's brigade will be gone then. Okay. That'll give us 1,700 men in that brigade. I just don't like having such small brigades. Nothing under 1,500 I think is combat effective. Greer can't merge with anyone. Steele, no. I don't think any of these guys can merge with anybody. So. And Ledbetter did pretty well in that battle, I think. They suffered 693 casualties, but inflicted 1,100. So the colonel did a good job. The colonel of volunteers. Let's raise a new brigade under Scurry's division. Who's going to be the fastest to get there? Probably Tennessee soldiers, but we don't have any recruits currently available. Kentucky, maybe? We do have 15,000 Kentucky recruits available. So we'll raise a 2,200 man brigade. That's my preferred brigade size of men. And then John Ford, you'll get that new brigade. We'll also equip you with better weapons. We've got 2,400 Springfields, so we'll equip them. Enfields. So Ford's new brigade should help replace some of our losses in the right wing. Naval combat, Toa? There is, but I don't know that you can't fight it like tactically as far as I'm aware. We could actually merge Forrest and Lee. So we'll give Forrest command of that whole brigade, and then we'll raise a new cavalry brigade with Lee, I think. Under Kershaw still. 11B Kentucky boys. 1,800 men. Place the commander with... Not sure where he went. Can I not give Lee the command anymore? Oh, there we go. And then this new brigade will replace its weapons with Colt revolvers, I guess, because that's the only weapon we have other than mixed cavalry. So we're raising a new cavalry brigade that'll take 21 days. We're raising a new infantry brigade that'll take 15 days. All told, about 4,000 replacements for the troops, which basically covers our losses. Meanwhile, we're going to go back west, and we're probably about to fight a battle here if Johnson can close. Like, he's here. Fight. What if I choose to fight? Do I get the second corps there? Oh, God. I may have just gone into a battle without... Johnson's right there. Why is he not fighting with him? My part of the battle was comparatively simple and easy. That of placing troops in the proper positions at the proper times. General Longstreet, June 6th or 7th, 1862. The Battle of Williamsburg. Okay. I guess we'll see. Yeah, it's just the left wing. Fuck. We're also on the offensive. Okay. Well, we can always withdraw if it's not going well, right? Major General Chase. The enemy is over here. We shall fight them. Wait. I'm not sure. I'm assuming the enemy's here on the objective. I'm not 100% sure. Let's deploy the corps in double lines. Artillery on those hills. Infantry in a double line. Okay, we'll advance on these two bridges. 2 brigade front with 1 brigade Braggs in reserve. And get going. I'm guessing they'll be on the opposite side of the river, but I'd rather advance on these 2 bridges. Have I ever played War of Rights, Cannibal? Yes, a while ago. Not recently. All right, there's some skirmishers over here, so they're definitely on the other side of the river. So to that end, let's move Bragg across the river down here. It's the same battlefield, even though we're not fighting in the same spot. But it's the same game map as the last battle. Okay, we're going to move Bragg down in the south, perhaps allowing us to flank the enemy. I think they're all on the left bank of this river. I'm not as big of an FPS person, Cannibal, although obviously I did play some Izonzo, or however you pronounce it, on the channel not that long ago. These guys dug in at all? Doesn't look like it. I'm curious if they're going to move to that crossing up north? Or are they just pulling out altogether? Oh, shit. Don't do that. I thought I had Bragg selected. Sickles, what are you doing out west? The enemy's like, we know you're flanking us, so we're not going to let you. We're going to refuse our line. Actually, that was kind of an intelligent adjustment. Oh, God. So here's the problem. Like, look at this. How am I supposed to attack through that? Look at that. Oh, what a beautiful defensive front. All right. Cook, Cross. Withers, maybe don't. But get near that northern bridge. Polk, place your artillery here. I don't know if you can hit anything from there. Actually, Polk, place your artillery here. Yeah, screw that. Do it over there. Someone's shooting at someone. Artillery's hitting our left flank under Buckner. Simon Buckner. All right, I do not want to attack into that. What is that, a quadruple line? This is like Napoleonic in nature. You've got 2 skirmish lines out front. Then you've got 2 lines of infantry, and then you've got cavalry just waiting to mow you down with a charge. Talk about anchoring your position on this river. That is a fucking anchor. And then they're a little bit thinner to their right. I'm actually fairly impressed. Buckner's taking some artillery fire. So we'll have 11,000 men across the river here. Or we will momentarily. Can we punch through the center of the line? That's where they're weak. We'll have the cover of the trees to advance behind. Of course, our flank will be vulnerable. This is like getting sucked into a... If this was Napoleon teaching a class, this would be exactly how not to fight. Don't advance into the basically bend in a river where they can just mash you up against the river. Right. But that's exactly what we're going to do. I don't know that I can actually hit them from here with my artillery. Oh, they're going to advance on me. What are we doing? What are they doing? Men of iron discipline. They want to fight? They're advancing against me. Okay. Are they actually going to advance across this bridge at me? I'm not entirely sure what they're doing. I'm also not really opposed to whatever they're doing. so they've already ordered that detachment to fall back. I don't know what this cavalry's doing here, but... Oh, shit. Now they've advanced one brigade down here. They're assaulting the bridge in the south. So we've got one division here in a wedge, engaging a lone Federal cavalry detachment. They're advancing another Federal cavalry brigade along our front and Bragg's area. So we're going to sandwich that. We can launch a double envelopment here. Maybe we can even the odds, route a couple other units. Relatively low casualties. First brigade is engaging. These boys, the artillery is going to fire into their flank. Their cavalry did cross the river, so it looks like they're trying to throw me back into the river in the south while also attacking on my right flank. Right, first cavalry. Okay, Buck, just engage the enemy infantry to your front then. First cavalry is getting driven back. And this move basically moves Bragg back into a double line. So they actually pulled that cavalry out of it before it was too late in the south. The second cavalry assault and the middle bridge, not going so well for them. And the cavalry assault in the northern bridge also likewise not good. Not a good day for Federal cavalry. Being driven back across the river. Only 700 men left. They won't be rallying. Or Schoep's battery of artillery and Fry's battery are both in action now. Two Federal cavalry brigades driven off. Almost 3-to-1 casualties so far in our favor. Now we're engaging across the river. So we're firing on some Federal units that are on the opposite side of the river here. Ransom's boys are fighting against the 1st Brigade down here. They're not doing so hot. Gardner firing at the flank of the other 1st Cav. Man. Bragg's boys aren't doing so great either. So the troops across the river of ours are not doing as well as the troops on the other bank. By the way, can you guys hear me okay over the sound of the battle? It's definitely loud in my ear. 50, 300 there. The 1st Cavalry. Is this a brave cavalry charge? Flank in the air. Ten by 10, good. So Ransom is maybe the weak link here. His brigade doesn't look like it's going to hold out too well. One of them is technically flanked by the artillery over here on their flank. It looks like a dangerous position to be in. Where's your division commander? Why don't you get up there, Hawk, or whatever. See if you can give another... Well, you're already giving the bonus to your troops. So they're stacking up against our central, our position on the middle bridge. We're gonna bring Adams around. John Adams! Not that John Adams. Around to support. I'd like to fall Ransom back. If he could. He's way too far forward here. Florida State, you guys firing? Can you fire into these guys? Looks like you are. First cav. Oh. We've got some nice lines here in terms of firing, you know, firing lines. But Ransom's casualties are mounting. We did throw back this cavalry brigade here. 300 and lost. Now we're dealing with another cavalry brigade. They really have a lot of cavalry on this fight. All right, John Adams, come on up. I think our right flank's gonna break, and that'll probably be perhaps the deciding moment in this fight. Let's bring Little's brigade down to guard this bridge. But our whole position opposite the river may come undone in Ransom routes. Adams poured into the 1st Brigade's flank here. Hang in there, Ransom! Artillery all along the line is in action for once, for me. Casualties so far, 4,400 to 1,400. So our casualties are mounting, primarily in Ransom's brigade. He's about to rout. Bonham hasn't suffered the bulk of the enemy's attention yet. Alright, so we pushed back each of these cavalry units here, inflicting over 700 casualties on the enemy. That's probably the last service that Ransom's going to do to his cause. Center Brigade under Whitting. Boys are doing good there. Good thing is the artillery can fire back fairly close range into the flank of the advance on the middle bridge. Well, I'd rather you march in column rather than line. Okay, so we're going to drive the 1st Brigade back here, and then I'll be tempted to cross this ford with Clark's brigade with the enemy in the flank. Bonham's casualties are mounting. Gardner's casualties are mounting with the pressure. Shit. They have so many more men than us! Should have stayed behind the river. Where are you going? Don't do that. I don't think I told you to do that. Ransom's routing. In terms of total manpower, if these casualties inflicted, they've actually lost a smaller percentage of their force than we have. They have 52,000 men here? I didn't think it was that many! Oh no! No wonder. Shit. Alright, Ransom routed. Yeah, we're gonna have to try and get back behind the river. Problem is we're probably gonna be defeated in detail here. 2nd Brigade pushed back. Oh shit, Buckner's brigade also is... They dealt the enemy a blow, but they didn't get off scot-free. Alright, so Gardner's now panicked. He lost 200 men and he's panicked. Meanwhile, Bonham's up here losing 700 men and hanging toe-to-toe with the Federals. Okay. We're now into defeat territory here. Pull back. Can I order you guys to retreat? Why not? Bragg's right there. Okay, boys, get back across the river as best you can. We've got one brigade here, Little's brigade, which should hopefully hold the bridge for now. Adams, I want you to fall back. Don't engage him. Same for you, Whitting. Well, we had a brave fight on the other end of the river for a bit. Elzey and Clark hold the northern ford. Wow, we wrecked that battery of artillery of theirs. Little holds the middle bridge. Fall back, you assholes. Your commander's like right there. I don't know why you wouldn't be able to fall back. Unless you're just flat out refusing. Maybe we can buy enough time to get to the second day's fight so some of these units will rally for us. Then again, their troops will rally also. Rally, boys, rally. The enemy still lost 8,000 casualties to 3,400 of our own so far. And yet, our percentages are worse. It'd be great if they try and cross that northern fort again. Hey, Adams. Fucking fall back. Fighting retreat for Adams' brigade, which has barely lost any men so far, only 30 men. Maybe they can wreck another enemy cavalry brigade while they pull back. Meanwhile, my own artillery's got this nice river line and clear line of sight to pound the enemy. Adams is doing his deal. He's inflicting more losses on the enemy, although that defeat counter is ticking forward. Because the enemy holds the objective. Which, like, let's be real, the enemy has 50,000 men. Even with these casualties, they still have 46,000 men versus what do we have now? 15,000? 3 to 1, we're not going to be able to win this battle on the offensive. Pull back across the river, boys! Run! Bonham lost more than 50% of his brigade. Whiting lost basically nothing. Let's actually do something a little different here. Let's move Whiting forward. Alright, boys, halt. If you can skirmish with the enemy at range, and if you can use that fallback command well, maybe, just maybe, we can avoid a total rout here. So victory points, morale is at, we get 40, routs -10, losses -5. The enemy has the objective, which gives them 1, morale 46, routs -3.8, so they've lost more units routed. And then a 0.48, 4.8 to losses because their percentages are low. Artillery losses are ticking up also. Alright, so we're going to bring Whiting up. We're going to form a 2-brigade front. And we will slowly fall back. I don't know why Gardner didn't retreat across the bridge that was closest to him and why he's retreating north now. But if we can defeat these enemy brigades as they come up one at a time in the south, that's really our only chance of moving this defeat block in the other direction. If we can rout this cavalry before the enemy comes up, we can rout the lead enemy brigades and kind of hit them back one at a time. I'm pretty confident in our cavalry's ability, or our infantry's ability, to defeat cavalry in a head stand-up fight. Brigade has already lost a lot of men. Adams fall back under fire. Flanked. Boys, get down here. I have to double. Oh, my Gardner's just hanging out on the river there. Alright, that federal cavalry. Their cavalry is not going to be in a good state after this fight. They have taken a large percentage of their casualties have been in the cavalry. Okay, so Adams is falling back. Bragg's division is doing yeoman's work here. Polk's division probably did the... or not. His artillery. Whose division is this? Elsie, Clark. Withers' division has done a large percentage of the successful fighting, but Bragg has been the most heavily engaged. Iron discipline is your Bragg's troops, so you're gonna have good discipline, right? Second Brigade should, I would think these guys down here would rout soon. Maybe these Gardner's troops can fire into the flank. The enemy is leapfrogging ahead. This is kind of an interesting tactic to watch. I don't know if historically cavalry did this or not in this era, but it's kind of interesting to watch. They're like leapfrogging through each other's lines. I think that was a way that like fighting occurred in the West, like between the native tribes and the cavalry, I think. Defeat-wise, we're moving inexorably toward a withdrawal command. It's still minor, but once we hit 24%, that's going to switch over to a major. Unless, I think if the enemy loses over 20%, it won't be. I'm not sure, but the percentages aren't in our favor right now, despite the heavy losses on the federal side. Adams Brigade may be the, if they break, that may be the nail in the coffin, if you will. I just don't think we're going to break their cavalry in time. They seem to be absorbing those losses pretty comfortably. Meanwhile, we are not. Gardner is helping out, firing from these woods into the federal flank. But those losses are just... Look at those. They're just skyrocketing way too quickly. And there they go, they broke. And there's our defeat marker. So the battle is lost. %, so this is going to quickly change over to a major victory for the Federals. The Battle of Columbus. So they're doing just enough to keep their cause alive and to prevent a full-blown Federal rout in the war. If we know we're going to lose, why push for a major loss? My hope was that we wouldn't lose. My hope was that we could defeat the enemy brigades as they came up one at a time and perhaps switch that back to a victory. But they pushed more aggressively than I was able to deal with. And I think I got overly aggressive. Bragg is wounded. That's not going to help his division's morale. Alright, these cavalry brigades are going to retreat across our front. 600 and 900 casualties. Better than a third of the unit lost. A third of the remainder, anyway. It is now a major defeat. I'm not pushing for a major defeat, but there's nothing I could do to withdraw in time. My hope is maybe over the next 41 minutes we can inflict enough casualties on them to get them over 20% and maybe move this back down to a minor. Well, I had hoped that Johnston would have come to my aid. He's like right in the same spot on the map, but he didn't. Now, if they have 50,000 men and they lose 10, that'll leave them with 42, so Johnson won't be outnumbered as badly. But we're almost certain to trigger another battle against Johnson. So, given where he is on the map. Federals really don't, like, these brigades don't rout if they're, if the war's going well. If they don't, if they've won the battle. 2nd Brigade here's lost more than 50% of its strength. Still just hanging out and fighting. Oh, there they go. They're routing. Fire into the rear of this 1st Cav. Maybe they'll rout. I don't know why they stopped moving. Okay. I don't think we're inflicting casualties quickly enough. 18.6%. Oh shit, they're charging. They're going for my artillery. I think. And they're routing. They lost more than 50% of their manpower here, charging across the river. Wipe them out. All of them. Come on, boys. So their cavalry tried to pursue. Didn't work out too well for them. Um, 19%. It's interesting that the enemy's not really pushing in the south at all, where we've only got 2 brigades in position here. 1st Cavalry there's routed. 19.2, we've got 17 minutes. I think if they lose more than 20%, they don't get a major victory. To avoid a major defeat, you may not suffer more than 24% casualties or inflict more than 24% casualties on the enemy. Oh, we're not going to get to 24. I don't know why I thought it was 20. Sev, I don't know that they ever will. I don't think the game was designed for multiplayer, but yeah, it would be interesting. Maybe we can overrun that artillery. Go get them, boys. So they've now lost over 10,000 men out of 53,000, so it leaves them with 43. I don't know if my troops' morale will hold up well enough for a charge. Especially if the enemy fires canister into their face. Nope, didn't. They broke. Well, that's pretty much it for the fight. Another Confederate defeat. What a disappointing stream so far in terms of results. You can see here we lost 4,500 of our 18,000 infantry. 36 of our 36 guns. We didn't lose guns. Our artillery was fine. I'm confused. 4,700 total. They lost over 10,000 men total, but had 54,000. I know some of you have been screaming at me since the start of this series to recruit more troops. We are recruiting quite a few additional troops at the moment. Probably need to raise a new corps in the West, though. We've got the manpower to do it. National morale is going to take a hit from another defeat. Maybe my men broke and left the guns. Yeah, I guess that could be possible. We'll take a look and see if we really lost them when we go to the screen of after the battle. I am playing as the Confederacy, Prince. Goddamn right, I'm a traitor to my people. Hashtag on Wisconsin. So another defeat. A disappointing day for the Confederacy. Disaster at Columbus. The left wing is fleeing in panic. The Battle of Columbus has ended with the left wing retreating in panic. My command has earned us a glorious tactical victory. That is not true. Whipping the enemy before withdrawing to fight another day. The enemy has reportedly suffered a total of 10,371 casualties, 1,400 killed, 407 captured. So that's 1,800 permanently removed from their ranks. Meanwhile, our casualties were 4,700, 794 killed, 739 missing. So about 1,500 permanently removed from our ranks. Which again, you can see there the discrepancy, because we had about twice as many captured, narrows the actual losses of that battle considerably. I don't know what happened to the 407 were captured, but 383 soldiers were sent to prisoner of war camps. So 24 of them were summarily executed on the field of battle, maybe? I'm not quite sure. Anyway, so that's a defeat near Columbus. Left wing, we're going to withdraw you back to Nashville once I can. All right, left wing, pull back to Nashville. Is Johnson just going to charge right in with his 17,000 men? Brave Johnson. Probably order you not to fight. St. Louis is about to fall back into our hands, though. Johnson is apparently not looking to fight. He's moving via rail south. So good for you, Joseph E. Johnson. I'm sure President Davis is just as disappointed with you here as he is in real life. Or was in real life. Meanwhile, we've got forces coming to the aid of the Washington, D.C. garrison. We now have 2 corps here, so we actually will outnumber the enemy. General Longstreet's corps has arrived, so we could fight the Battle of Washington on fairly even terms. Oh, fuck, they snuck a corps behind me into the valley? 18,000 men in the 4th Corps? What? How long till these additional troops are raised? 37 days, 11 days, 1 day, 42 days, 7 days. 37 days, 37 days, 7 days, 37 days. So we have basically 4,000 men right now. And the next day we'll get another 2, so we'll have 6. And the next week we'll get an additional 2, so we'll have 8. Actually, we'll have 10. That's not enough. Okay, Army of Northern Virginia, you're going to pull back to Winchester. $4,000 cavalry there. First Corps under Lee will also pull back. And maybe we'll defeat the enemy in the valley. We've been flanked, sir. Let's withdraw. Okay. Both those units are moving largely in sync. Although, I think the lead elements of cavalry. I'd rather not fight there. Get Lee south before we fight. Okay. So the Battle of Harper's Ferry would now give us an advantage in manpower. The enemy has no cavalry. So General Nathaniel Banks' 4th Corps at Harper's Ferry. General John Peck's 2nd Corps at Washington. 2 battles in the Eastern Theater, which may give us back the edge that we've been looking for, that we've been losing in the West. Meanwhile, the Army of Tennessee's 37,000 men will rally at Nashville. And then the Army of the West, I guess, will... I'm not even going to try and hold Fort Scales anymore. Although the supply situation there's not too bad. They're not besieging me there yet, so maybe it's worth it. Meanwhile, St. Louis is ours again, so at least we did that. I don't know why do they have an army over here that we can't see? Like, why are they pushing so far in, or did we just never take this? I don't know. It is November, so it is kind of winter-ish. Yeah, are we anywhere near British intervention? No, we are not. 4th Corps, Mississippi. Yeah, I don't think they have anything special out there. Okay, so we're going to withdraw with our army in Tennessee to regroup there. We're raising over 20,000 new troops in Richmond. I need to raise another corps as well in the West. So let's do this. Let's have those are the left and the right wings. Pemberton, you do not deserve to be a corps commander. I don't have anyone better. Like, who's alive still. Zolkoffer, maybe when he's back from being wounded. I guess Pemberton will get the job for the time being. And Pemberton's corps will consist of Bernard B. or Hamilton B's division. I don't even know who the hell you are. You haven't done anything yet. And we'll do a 2-division corps here. Who should we promote to division command? I feel like Bonham's done a good job. All right, guys, we've been going for almost an hour. This next, I don't know, 10 minutes or so is me just adding different brigades, giving them all Lorenz rifles, and picking out commanders. We can look at the order of battle in the next episode. I think this is as good a spot as any to wrap up this episode of Grand Tactician, the Civil War. Another defeat, this one a major defeat, is prompting us to raise an additional 20,000 troops in the West. We're raising 20,000 troops in the East. That should care for the bulk of the casualties we've lost so far, and hopefully set us on the right foot to repairing these setbacks. The last 2 episodes have been fairly disappointing for us. I was hoping to bring the war to a conclusion successfully, but back-to-back defeats, including a major one, is going to slow that. And in fact, we may be about to see a federal invasion of Tennessee. But until next time, that's going to do it for today's episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave your thoughts down below. And as always, until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you for watching, and I'm out. I should really get t-shirts with that. Just that quote. Anyway, see you guys.